how do most people handle cyber risk? They just yell, "Not today, hackers," and unplug the router.
Dave on Cyber.
Hello cyber folks, welcome to Day 1 Cyber. This video is part of my series CISSP As An Art, and this image is from my favorite film, The Lord of the Ring. And today we are going to make Frodo our protagonist. How would Frodo respond to risk? So we will understand different kind of risk. We will also understand one technical scenario, how a law firm can address the risk of losing sensitive data using a DLP solution. So to start with, let's understand three key terms: risk, exposure, and mitigation. So in the film, what was the risk? Sauron, the main antagonist. If he takes the ring, then the entire Middle Earth will be doomed. And at any cost, the ring must not be in his hand. In our company, the law firm, it has got the most sensitive information that should not go out of the organization, otherwise it would have some catastrophic effect. That is the risk. So we are trying to protect the sensitive information, and that should not be leaked at any cost. What was the exposure in Lord of the Ring? Frodo was a hobbit and he was supposed to take the ring. Now if you look at the Frodo, he is small, he is hobbit, and he is not a warrior. That makes him vulnerable. So in our DLP scenario, anybody can leak the information either via email or via USB. So what's the mitigation? Frodo must carry the ring and destroy in the Mount Doom. He has to travel all the way. And in our DLP scenario, let's implement a DLP solution. That is the only way. So the first response type is risk rejection, and it is the worst because it's kind of you are ignoring. So in the film, the Council of Elrond pretends that ring does not exist at all, but it does. So it's like when company decides, yes, anybody can plug in the USB, anybody can send the email to outside, but you know what? Nobody does. There is no policy, there is no control, obviously there is no DLP, so kind of a disaster is confirmed. The second one is risk avoidance. Frodo admits to Gandalf that I can't do it, that he doesn't want to take risk. There is no exposure as well because he's not taking risk, but that comes with some kind of cost. And what is the cost? Because somebody still has to take the ring and destroy in the Mount Doom. So in our DLP scenario, if somebody comes and says, okay, let's do one thing, we'll block all the outbound email going out from law firm to the internet. So yes, it works in a way because it's blocking everything. Now nobody can send email to outside. But how would sales team would respond to their stakeholders? If there is a support team, how would they respond? If somebody is trying to communicate from outside, how would internal employee will reach out? So you have to understand the consequences that avoiding risk does work. It's an easy alternative, but it's not the best one. And that's why we need to go to the third one, and that is the best response, which is called risk mitigation. And this is what we do. This is what all the security lovers do. It's about mitigation. So Frodo says, I will take the ring, but you know what? I'll need some protection. Give me some warriors, because it's going to be a dangerous journey, but we can do some calculated risk. It's going to be high success rate. And in the film, we have got three main warriors: Aragorn, Gimli, and Legolas. And they all got different kind of strength, and they are always ready to protect Frodo, no matter what. So think of this warrior as safeguard. Also, you can think of this warrior as implementing DLP solution. Think about hardening. How about disabling all the USB port? Nobody can plug the USB and copy the data. Also, it's about implementing security policy. You should have appropriate classification for all the internal data. What is internal, what is confidential, what is public. And if somebody is trying to send any company confidential data to outside, the DLP solution will pick up or trigger the alert based on the classification and send alert to security team. If it's confidential and internal, it's not allowed. It should be blocked. But if it's public, it should be allowed. So this is the best risk response we can think of. The next one is risk transfer. It is just like your car insurance. You're not going to have accident every day, but you still buy car insurance and pay your annual premium, right? That's how insurance industry work. I hate it. In this film, what happens if Frodo gives ring to someone who is more powerful? Maybe one of the warrior or his best buddy Sam. He can do that. But there was a reason why Gandalf picked up Frodo, because he was full of integrity and he had a pure heart. That doesn't mean these guys are bad, but if he transferred this ring to one of this guy, what if they become the Dark Lord? So the point I'm trying to make is you can always outsource things from your company, but it always comes with a cost. You can hire a third party and you can outsource the DLP solution. If something happens, you can hold third party accountable. So there will be a contract between them and your law firm. But few things to consider is you will lose the visibility. When somebody is trying to leak the information, you won't get real-time visibility. There'll be always a delayed response. And also there's something called vendor lock-in, because the way this third party work is, once you lock the contract, you have to continue with at least a year. It depends how contract is executed, but it opens new kind of complexity if you try to transfer the risk. So the next one is risk acceptance. This is where Frodo says, I'll take the ring to Mordor myself. I don't need anybody. I don't need help. I'll take full responsibility, and what may come, I will fight. If I die, I die, or if I manage to reach at the end, I'll destroy the ring. So in our DLP scenario, if business says, you know what, if somebody leak this information, if somebody copy in the USB, or if somebody post on LinkedIn or Facebook, it's not going to damage company in any way, then it's fine. So obviously that kind of confidence comes after some sort of cost benefit analysis, that it's not going to hurt company from any financial or regulation or any compliance point of view. Then you can obviously go ahead and accept the risk. The last one is about the deterrence. It's just about showing your strength. It's not actually a security control, or it's not actually a genuine risk response type, but it works in some way. I recall when I was a salesman, when I used to go to client's house, there was a big banner, big board outside, beware of this dog, and there was a dangerous photo of the dog, and I would think twice before entering to the premise. So that was a deterrent control. Even I don't know whether even they have dog or not, right? So by showing this to all the antagonists, to all the ogres and Sauron, it shows that Frodo is not alone. He has it hobbit buddies and he has all these warriors. So if you come near Frodo, you will pay big price. Implement this kind of deterrent control with your organization policy. If user is accepting those policy, then all this banner should be part of the writing, that you are not allowed to send any sensitive data to outside, or you are not allowed to copy any data into USB. If it does, then there will be a dire consequences. So the last one is a brief summary about each response type. So reject means you are simply living in a la la land. Simple as that. Okay. You can avoid the risk, but always remember you are going to pay an opportunity cost. This is my favorite. When you try to mitigate, that means you love security. You can transfer the risk, but always be mindful, because it comes with some different kind of new introduced risk. Think like that. You can accept the risk, but either dollar figure should justify, or you think that it's not going to cost company any kind of reputational, financial or compliance damage, then you can accept the risk. Deterrence is all about showing your strength. Show your enemy who you are. I'll put one CISSP scenario question in the comment section. Please don't just write your answer. I would like to know your detailed response, why right answer is right and wrong answer is wrong. So please do that, and please subscribe. This is part of my series CISSP As An Art. I have coined this new term. And also subscribe to my newsletter as well, because every month I send monthly newsletter where I send all the resources that I learned throughout the month. And at the end, just stay curious and stay artistic. See you in the next video.